Hey, everybody, what's going on with everyone? Welcome, 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 welcome. It's your girl, Samantha Lee, in the building. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for being here. Let me just go ahead and go down the list of all the people that showed up tonight. I see Lewis. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody that's in, please do not be stingy. Hit the like button. Por favor. Okay, let's do it, family. So go ahead, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let me see. We have Howard. What's going on, Howard? Oracle King, great to see you again, sir. Jason, I see you. Lewis, I see you. Rodney, as always, I see you, sir. Thank you for coming in. Caroline, hey, boo. And Shane, hey, Shane. What's going on, sir? It's always good to see you. Caroline, I see Awakening 7. Adrian, great to see y'all. Wes Adams, 5TV1, salute. Deo the D. No, I'm not married. I see Sean. I see Mark. I see Sir D. I see Maggie. I see Carol. Well, I see Will Johnson. Okay, I see a lot of people up in the building tonight. And guys, we have a great show, and it's based on a clip that I posted last week. And the clip was titled, "What's up, Crystal? Hey, boo." I see Monte. I see y'all. The comments are coming in slow for me. I see Brinson. I see Carrie. So again, we gonna get into it. So tonight we're talking about, are men scared of women? And I'm gonna play the clip that I'm referring to so that we have some context as to what we are talking about. Are men scared of women? And this clip is gonna break that down a little bit more. Okay, we gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. All right, so here we go. Let me go ahead and play the clip. We got a couple good clips. So again, you guys, stay till the end. Like last time, this is going to be a master class. We're going to end this thing with a real solution. And to Deb's point, hit the like button, family. Hit the like button. Don't be stingy if my content or if this content is giving you guys wisdom, if it's giving you guys knowledge, if it's adding value to your life. Hit the like button, you guys. Again, we've grown, family. We have grown so fast, so quickly. I mean, 6 months, me working on this YouTube thing is June 1st. And y'all, we've almost reached 200,000 in 6 months. Ah! Can't believe it. So anyway, you guys, I'm so happy to see y'all. Anyway. I think official Steve Harvey. I don't know if that's a real Steve Harvey, but hey, Steve. Hey, Steve. Okay. Tell Marjorie I said hello. Okay, so let me go ahead and play the first clip. We're gonna play the first clip. Let's play the first clip. Okay, share screen. I'm gonna go to, okay. This is the one I'm talking about, you guys. Let me first make sure I got the right way to do this. We're gonna do, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so I'm gonna share screen. Yep. Okay. So you guys, I don't know if you guys remember this, but last week I posted this. And again, from this young lady, Billy Ray Brandt. So shout out to her. I like her stuff. So I just thought I would play it, you know. So here we go. We're going to go back.
So I overheard a conversation.
Okay. All right. So I'm about to press play. Again, you guys, pay attention. This is what I'm talking about tonight. This is what I'm talking about. Sigma males are in the building. What's going on? You said, Caroline, that's amazing. You said your daughter shared one of your reels to me, and I was surprised. Glad she watches you. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. Let's play the video.
Last night. It was a group of 4 girls at dinner, and one girl was telling her friends about her new fling. She described it as a casual hookup type thing, but claimed he was super respectful, despite not wanting to commit. Her friend then asked why he was so scared to commit, and this was the moment that I had to physically restrain myself. Here's a shocker, girls. Men aren't scared of you. This guy's basically at an all-you-can-eat buffet, minus the fee. He has it made. If you want him to look at you as girlfriend material, start carrying yourself as that, because hookups won't make him love you. So I overheard a conversation last night. It was a group of 4 girls at dinner, and one girl was telling her friends about her new fling. She described it as a casual hookup type thing, but claimed he was super respectful, despite not wanting to commit. Her friend then asked why he was so scared to commit, and this was the moment that I had to physically restrain myself. Here's a shocker, girls. Men aren't scared of you. This guy's basically at an all-you-can-eat buffet, minus the fee. He has it made. If you want him to look at you as girlfriend material, start carrying yourself as that, because hookups won't make him love you. So I overheard
All right, you guys. So that is the clip that we're talking about tonight. She ends with, men aren't scared of you. That a lot of women today feel like, oh, because a man isn't committing in the situation, that means that they're afraid of you or afraid of commitment. Okay. And here's the thing, you guys, we have to take accountability. All right. Because we allow ourselves to be a part of things. Like, I've been watching the interview today. I'm not going to bring up all that. But I was watching something today, and what we have to take accountability for in life is the way that we show up, right? We have to take accountability for the choices that we make and the ways that we show up. And I've also done a video in the past about, if I was talking to a young woman today, I would tell them, if you want a certain type of treatment and you are in a situation that is below the standard, and you are dealing with it and trying to find ways to change the dynamics at the last minute, it's going to be very hard to undo the things you've already allowed. It's very important to walk into dynamics, and already have your standards set. Okay. I've walked into relationships and I'm like, listen, I met guys and y'all want certain types of guys. I actually had a homegirl call me this morning, y'all, saying, one of my friends, she says she want you to, hook her up with somebody that had a man of a certain caliber, blah, 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 blah. And she's saying, I was telling her that certain factors need to be there for a man of a certain caliber to look at you seriously. And her friend had responded with, well, this is who I am. This is who I am. So I'm not going to change who I am for a person. Here's the thing, you guys. Y'all, let me calm down. Okay, I can continue. How you post as a woman, if who you are as a woman is, oh, I like posting half naked. Okay, I get that. Okay. I post a certain kind of way, and I don't want no man to tell me how to post, and that's just who I am. No, that's not who you are. That's not who you are. You are not half naked posts. Do not do that. And if you are defined by half naked posts, there's a problem. There's a problem. Society today in general, we don't want to be told what to do. We don't want to be told what to do. And we're like, oh, no, that's who I am. That's who I am. No, it's not who you are. Y'all, when I was young, in college, I was dating a guy, right? I was dating a guy. And when I was dating this guy, it went left, okay? But in the process of me dating this guy, something happened to me. It was an extreme allergic reaction. It's called Steven Johnson syndrome, nonetheless. Extreme allergic reaction. Y'all, my physical appearance changed overnight. I mean, my hands were like burning from the inside out. My mouth, my eyes, anywhere. It was ugly. I'm not going to get graphic because I know y'all are, I don't know what y'all doing right now. My entire appearance changed. And in that moment, as unattractive as I was, I said to myself, okay, as a woman, I have to develop other characteristics. I can't just be pretty. I can't just be, because pretty is easily taken from you. Pretty is easily just gone away with the wind bullseye. My body, again, it's something that is fleeting. It's not something that's going to contain you. I'm going to work out and I'm going to do everything I can to stay as fine as I possibly can be. But the reality of it all is that with my appearance changing, I realized that I was sewing into the wrong aspect of my life. God taught me in that moment, and I hope to provide the same value to you guys tonight. The same value is that don't just put everything into how you look. There's always going to be someone that looks better than you. There's always going to be somebody better than you that got a different body than you, that got the smaller stomach than you, that got all these different characteristics. There's always somebody that's going to have something that you don't. And so if you don't sow into other aspects of who you are, that means it's easily taken from you. We easily threatened. You're insecure quickly. That's why you diversify. You have different hats. You're good at different things. You know, and I hear y'all saying, hey, listen, you're pretty. I can hear that. But here's the thing with pretty women. Pretty women in the chat, let me see you. But pretty women that are going to watch this, it's like you've been told all your life that you're pretty. So you being pretty, you just sow into being pretty. And so you don't develop a character or integrity or a personality or have a conversation or some type of intelligence about you or pick up some type of knack or some type of niche or some type of hobby of yourself. No, it's all about being pretty. And so therefore you're easily threatened. That's why the most beautiful women in the world are insecure. They're insecure. They're as insecure as they come. Why? Because at the end of the day, all I focused on is how I look. All I focused on is how bad I am. And then I go into a world where there's a lot of bad women, a lot of beautiful women. And because I don't have any other quality that distinguishes me from the rest, I'm easily threatened. Okay? So that's number one. If you're only sowing into certain characteristics about yourself, and you're not really putting your time and energy into developing your character as a human being, or developing your spirituality, developing your intelligence, developing other aspects of yourself. And we're in a society that honestly, the propaganda that's put out there is for women to only focus on how you look. Honestly. It's only focused on that type of stuff. But my whole point of my platform is that you're supposed to be way more than that. Why? Because beauty is fleeting. I believe what the Bible says, beauty is fleeting. If you are only attractive, that is easily taken away from you. But what else are you going to give to this world? Beauty can be the way that you enter into doors. But when you get through that door, they have no idea what's coming. I know most people have no idea what's coming when I walk through the door. Have no idea that I'm about to set it off in this thing. I'm about to be advocating. I'm about to give you some statistics and talk spirituality and do different things and maybe open your mind up to different things that you didn't even think I was capable of because of the way I look. And that's the whole point. Beauty is fleeting. And so we say I say that to say that a lot of women today is like, oh, why are men so scared of commitment? Why are men so scared of commitment? Because we are giving ourselves away for free. To her point, we are giving ourselves away. We're giving ourselves away. You ain't got to have a commitment with us. You don't have to have anything significant with us for you to get the entire enchilada. And if you're not holding yourself as a wife or a girlfriend, if you are not living your life in that fashion, how can you possibly think that somebody's going to see you that way? That's me keeping it 100 with you. Listen, Shane, it's the truth. When I first came into the dating market after I was married or anything, after I was married, there's so much, there's so much out here on the YouTube space, right? So many things being said. Kevin Samuels was getting really big, all this stuff. And it was just like a different world of things. And I realized that there was men that was talking to me and they're like, well, I'm not going to commit to you unless I sleep with you, because if I don't know if I want to sleep with you if I don't know what it's like to ride that ride. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. It's not. But again, again, I realize how different the game has changed, because if this man has this philosophy about dating and being in relationships, then that means there's women that are giving it out in such a way to make a man want to commit to you. But why would that make a man want to commit to you? And you have women bragging about their cucaracha and what they got going on. It's like that has never made a man want to settle down. sex has never been an effective way to get a man to settle down with you. Never. It has never, ever, ever, ever been an effective way to get a man to wife you. And when I say wife you, I'm not saying to be in a long 10-year relationship with no marriage. I'm not saying that. I'm saying go down the aisle and say I do. That has never been an effective way to get that type of result. It has never been effective. That's the whole thing. I'm just saying the whole enchilada. I'm being real, y'all. So older women always say that these girls don't realize a man won't invest in a woman if they're easy. What's the saying? Why buy the cow when he can get the milk for free? That's the truth, y'all. That's the real truth. That's the truth. Why? And again, my spirituality, I had a person call me and say, where did your mindset come from? Like, how did you get here? And I'm like, my spirituality, I'm raised, I have a stepdad, I have a father. Both are very active in my life. Thank you, God, for them. I have 2 brothers, and I've been able to really learn a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot in understanding men and understanding relationships and understanding my place in them. Also, my spirituality. Just read the Bible. It teaches you certain things. And so a lot of what I say on these platforms about what a woman should bring and how they should present themselves, they go very far, they go viral, and all of it's based in Bible. All of it. It's already been foretold. Just check out Proverbs, the wisdom literature. It's already been foretold of the qualities of women that remain true to this very day that men look for. They do. So women don't care about dudes unless you got money. Let's tell how it is. I don't think that that's true. Listen, you know that I don't know what cucaracha is. I didn't know that meant cockroach. Let me just call it biscuit or something. I didn't know it meant cockroach. My bad, y'all. I'm gonna call it the biscuit. Okay, I'm gonna call it biscuit. But anyway, money. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think first off, there's too many men that don't have money that got women. Let's be very clear. Anybody in the chat, anybody on my live right now know a guy that don't got money but got all the women? Can I put a 1 in the chat? If you know a guy that got no money but got women, I need to see 1. I need to see a number 1 in the chat if you know, because I know quite a few. Ain't got no money but got women. Let's go. Come on, number 1 in the chat. I know I'm not the only one who knows. Look, Shane, Kevin knows somebody, Deb knows somebody. Ronald knows somebody. The Blog Father knows somebody. Y'all, come on now. My Uncle Leroy. My Uncle Leroy. Okay. Yeah, quite a few men. So I need men to stop with that rhetoric. If you got game, you got game. Let's not play these games, y'all. Let's not play these games. Men be saying, oh, it's about money. It's about money. No, it's not about money. Do you got game? Because there's men with money that can't keep a woman if they paid one to stay. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's be very clear. It's about a certain type of dynamic that a man has. And it's not about certain things. Men can have game, baby. Game, the gift of gab. I've met men with such crazy game. You're like, dang, you know what? He don't really have a job, do he? You know, it's like an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? But Claymore, speak facts. Be careful what you lead with. Be careful what you lead with. A lot of men lead with certain things, lead with money, and then get mad when women want you for money. No, you coming into a date, and y'all, I'm completely off topic, but you coming into a date situation with a woman. This is just a side note. You come into a date situation with a woman, you saying, listen, I'm closing businesses. I listen, I'm so booked and busy. I don't know what to do. Listen, I just closed a $70,000 deal yesterday. And next month I got this $1 million situation that's gonna go down. I believe it's gonna go my way. And I just got this and I just bought this house across town, and I got another house in Mexico, Cabo. You ever been there? You don't when you lead with money, y'all. Don't be surprised when somebody abuse you for it. Because if you feel like you gotta lead with money because of because of women or how they appear, or you're like, oh, you know what? I feel like because of the way she looks or because of the men I feel like I know she's dealt with, I'm gonna lead with these things. You gotta be clear, men. That's what happens. Women start using you for money. Okay, don't do that. Don't do it. Who y'all? We going into but anyway, guys. So the next one that I saw this video, y'all, and I thought it was really interesting because it was talking about why do men fear commitment. And I think that, again, as we talked about the first clip, it's not that a man doesn't fear commitment, is that you're not presenting yourself as a girlfriend. When you only sow into certain aspects of yourself and you're allowing yourself to be used for certain things, you have to understand that men are less likely to commit to you because you're not presenting yourself as a girlfriend. They do not see you in a long-term way. And that's not be throwing shade at you. This ain't me judging you. I'm just saying, when a man looks at your social media, when a man looks at the way that you talk and conduct yourself, when a man sees what you've engaged in past relationships, when a man knows that you haven't been in relationships, you've only been in situationships your entire adult dating life, that is something that men look at and really do say to themselves, if a man hasn't wifed her, why would I be the first? We have to be very, very clear. Very clear. If you're not presenting yourself in a way that makes you feel like, or that men feel like, oh, you know what? Men wifing her. She must got something going on with her that I need to go ahead and see what's going on with her. You see what I'm saying? You have to, that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. And what she's talking about is this woman has said to she hears them talking, and she's saying, like, I'm dealing with this guy. He isn't committing to me. I don't really understand why. And her friend's like, maybe he's scared. Nah, since he ain't scared, you sleeping with him. What do you need to commit to you for? What's the rush? He's getting everything he wants from you. If he wants communication from you, he can get it. If he wants a text message, he can get it. If he wants to come over in the middle of the night, he can get it. If a man is getting every single benefit that comes with certain relationships, why would he decide to lock you down? Why? That's the reality. That's the reality. That's me keeping it 100 with you. And the way that we present ourselves on social media, y'all may not think it's true. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The way that you present yourself, there are men that are looking at you and saying, that ain't for me. Because I feel like I can see everything else another man can see, then that ain't for me. Now, not every man thinks that way, right? There are men that are like, I don't care what you put on social media. I don't care what you got going on. I think you bad, and that's all really matters to me. And that's fine. We got men like that too. But I'm saying the majority of men that are looking for long-term wifely situations, they're not afraid of commitment. They're afraid of committing to the wrong one. They're afraid of committing to someone that is going to waste their time, use them for their resources, etc., etc. Am I right or am I wrong, y'all? Am I right? Let me see a one in the chat if I'm right. Let me see if a one in the chat if I'm right. If I'm dropping game, put one. Put a one in the chat, exactly. Okay. Okay, I thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. He's not going to commit if he's getting it without commitment. Come on, Guy Blue. Come on, Guy Blue. Speak on it, sir. He's not going to commit if he's getting it without commitment. This is from a man. This is from a guy. I'm not, this is from a guy. Ladies, we cannot go into situations accepting certain behaviors and saying to ourselves, oh, you know what? When we get together, things are going to change. Things are going to be different. No, it's not. It's not. What you accept from the beginning, you can later grow to accept moving forward. I've made mistakes in that area, y'all. I thought that once somebody's committed or certain level of commitment, that certain things were going to change, and they didn't. And I was heartbroken. But at the end of the day, you have to say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to paint this any other color. If it's a red flag, it's red. I'm not going to try to paint it pink when I know it's red. So again, with the hookup culture and newfound feminism, which is not old school feminism, is new wave feminism. Women are saying, I want to hook up. I just want some D. I just want this. I just want that. And our music and everything else is like creating this dynamic. And then we wonder why men don't want to commit. What you mean you don't know why men don't want to commit? Look at what we're doing. Happiness and contentment is an acquired attribute, is not bought with money. Come on, Claymore, with the facts. Happiness and contentment is acquired attribute, is not bought with money. And I will also say, Claymore, adding to your point, thank you for that, sir. And thank you for being the first super chat of the evening. What's up, Claymore? You're always supporting, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, sir. And I want to add to that, is that happiness and contentment also doesn't come from other people. Happiness and contentment comes from you. And a lot of us seek those things in other people. And other people can't give you that. You have to do that for yourself. And I think a lot of men and a lot of women go into relationships looking for things that they can only find within themselves. And in my belief system, in God. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Okay. And so a lot of women's like, oh, this relationship doesn't make me happy. It's not intended to make you happy. It's not intended to make you happy. It's intended to edify you and then draw you closer to the only being that can make you happy. You see what I'm saying? And we live in a lot of different relationships and a lot of different things saying, oh, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Okay, but it wasn't intended for you to make you happy. That's not the intention of it. The intention of it was for you to possibly find somebody that you could grow and build and do things with. Yeah, thank you, Jason. Somebody clipped that. Intended to draw you to the only being that can make you happy. That's absolutely facts. We internally, we have got to be good with ourselves. And our guys, we don't got off the beat of the course because we talking about all different kinds of stuff. But that's why I love lives like this. This is where we can be honest and we can be real. And I love y'all for doing that. So, guys, I'm going to go into the next clip because a guy is now going to speak about, a man is going to say, instead of women interpreting what men are doing, I wanted to come from a man. And so a man is about to tell us why he didn't commit. He's like, he didn't want to commit. Okay. And he articulates himself well. And so I'm going to go ahead and play the content. Okay. So we're going to go into this next video. Y'all stay to the end. We got 2 more videos. So do not go anywhere, y'all. We're going to talk about why men, is not fear of commitment that men are not committing. It's the market today and the way that women are conducting themselves is why men are not choosing to commit today. I think that that's a majority of the reason. Now I'm going to bring up some other reasons why I think men don't commit, because I don't only think it's because women aren't, women aren't doing certain things or conducting themselves in certain ways. I do think that there's other factors where men don't commit, and we'll talk about that later. So anyway, let's go into thanks Sloan. I got my water right next to me. Okay, I think that's the one right here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna bring this up, and he's gonna talk from here. Do you guys see what I see? I just want to make sure you see it. Okay, cool. Here we go.
And yet I too have been accused of being afraid of commitment from specific women when I've turned down their invitations for a relationship. You may not want to hear this, but here's the ugly truth. If a guy turns down an invitation...
All right, y'all listening? Here's the ugly truth. Here's the ugly truth. Let's go.
For a relationship, it's probably not because he's afraid of commitment. It's probably because your offer isn't good enough.
Woo! Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He said, I'm going to play that back. He said, I'm going to turn that back. I'm going to turn it back. I'm going to let him say it. I'm not going to say it for him. I'm going to let him say it.
It's probably because your offer isn't good enough.
Ooh, Jesus be
plain and simple. Consider the same scenario in a professional context. I have a private psychotherapy practice, but just for fun, I note on LinkedIn that I'm open to job offers from recruiters. I like to see what else is out there to stay relevant, and every once in a while I'm called by a recruiter, and it's fascinating how these conversations go. They tell me the compensation, and I'll respond that I make 3 times that. They'll tell me it's a 40-hour-a-week job. I'll tell them that I work 25 hours a week. They'll tell me that I have to report to the clinical director. I'll tell them that I'm my own boss. They'll say I have to come into the office. I'll tell them that I get to work from home. They'll say I would get 4 weeks vacation. I tell them that I take all the time off that I want. And they look at me, and I look at them, and we obviously don't do a deal. But I guarantee that they don't go away thinking that I have a fear of employment. It's that what they have to offer isn't better than what I've already got.
Oh, wow, y'all. Wow. Oh, we got to move our fingers for this, boy. Ooh. Y'all, wow, I wasn't ready. So he's saying, I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish. He said that I'm not committing to whatever. When a woman tells me I'm not committing to them, they automatically assume that I'm afraid of commitment. I'm not afraid of commitment, but what you're offering me is not good enough. And he says, look at it like the job market. If I had my profile on LinkedIn, I have my own personal practice. This is him saying this. And he says that on the practice or on the thing, they say, oh, I want you to come into the office. I want you to work 40 hours a week. I want to pay you this amount. In his private psychotherapy practice that he owns, he works less, he makes more, and he has more flexibility. So he's like, I'm not going to take the job because I don't want this job. This doesn't work for me. What I already have is better than what you're offering me. And so a lot of women are saying that men are afraid of commitment because they don't want to be committed to them. But in all actuality, the offer that you are giving me is not better than what I have right now. Meaning that whatever access I have, however I'm doing what I'm doing, whatever I got going on right now, what I'm doing right now is not better than your offer what I'm doing right now is better than your offer for a relationship. Why would I settle down with what I'm doing when you're offering me something that is inferior to what I'm doing? Phew. Let me see if you got something else to say. Let's go.
On the other hand, if their offer improved my situation, I would have no problem signing the contract. I've signed many contracts in my time. Look, a commitment is a sacrifice. It's a relinquishing of significant opportunity and usually requires a great deal of time, energy, and money. There has to be some upside, some compensation involved. And if the compensation associated with this commitment is less than what I can expect to enjoy from either remaining a free agent or from another commitment I can reasonably hope to enjoy in the future, it would be foolish of me to take that opportunity.
Y'all, I can't believe you said all that. Hold on. So, y'all, I'm going to go back to what he said at the beginning, right? And then we'll get into the rest of what he's saying. Oh, I choked on what? So here we go. I'm going to go all the way back here.
Required 120 hours of work a week for years. I've taken out several substantial loans and paid back every penny.
Wow.
I've served as an elected official on the boards of nonprofits and local governments. I've developed virtual products with a team of web developers on the other side of the world to be sold on the global market. I go to the gym every other day, whether I feel like it or not. And my word is my bond. If I say I'm going to do something, you can consider it done. I've accomplished a great deal in my life through discipline, forbearance, and commitment. I have no problem with commitment. And yet I too have been accused of being afraid of commitment from specific women when I've turned down their invitations for a relationship. You may not want to hear this, but here's the ugly truth. If a guy turns down an invitation for a relationship, it's probably not because he's afraid of commitment. It's probably because your offer isn't good enough. Plain and simple. Consider the same scenario in a professional context. I have a private psychotherapy practice, but...
All right, guys. I love that video. Again, I think I'm going to shout out to him. It's I think his page is Psych Hacks. Yes, Psych Hacks. He's a psychologist, he has a psychotherapy practice, but he's bringing up an incredible point. We accuse men of certain things in relationships because they just don't do it with us. So in this situation, we may be accusing a man of being afraid of commitment when in all actuality, he doesn't feel like committing to you is in his best interest. That whatever you are offering him is inferior to what he is experiencing, or he feels like he has good potential to experience on the dating market. So when a man says, I'm going to commit, which, guys, as a woman, I will say that women do not look at commitment the same way men do, because we enjoy commitment, we enjoy security, we enjoy stability, but we also do that. We have a certain way of being when we feel like there are potential suitors that may be greater than what we're in. So we will also be a free agent. We will also be on the market and overestimate our options. I think men know, like, listen, I could get another woman. I could get something that's maybe a little bit better. And I'm being logical about it. A woman can see men in their DMs and think that, oh, well, I could get a guy that's like X, Y, and Z. And the reality is the men that are in your DMs and the men that are liking your posts are probably not going to be the men, or may not be the men. I'm not saying all of them may or may not, but the men that you see liking your posts are probably not going to be the men that's going to wife you. Some of them may be. Most of them are not. And because we have this idea of options and limitless options because we live in a social media world. We think that, oh, men have a fear of commitment because of social media. No, I would even say the rising epidemic is women not wanting to commit because of social media. Because women on social media thinking that, listen, I could get whoever I want based upon these guys that's in my DMs and following me and liking my comments and liking my picture. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. So I see I missed a couple things. So let me make sure that I look at this the chats. Okay. So Omac sent me something, but let me say Sloan. Shout out to you, Sloan. What's up, sir? I never try to hide who I am, including my money. I lead with my accomplishments. I'm the president of 2 companies. You can easily find me on social media. I have other ways I show up hues. I vet women. I can see how you move. And if you all about money, I bounce. So Sloan, my question to you is, sir, do you care with the fact that you are successful? Do you care if a woman's just with you for lifestyle and money? Does that bother you? Because if you're leading with that and you're like, I'm proud of what I've accomplished, are you good with the fact that there's some women that may be with you for certain things? Because you may be like, I don't care. I'm successful. It is what it is. I've made money. It's allowed me to have access, and I'm going to enjoy the access regardless of the intention. I just want to know what you think. It's my thoughts. OMAC. And I want to say thank you to these guys, Sloan, OMAC, and Claymore. Thank you guys for supporting me. People say that they support me, but when you guys come behind me and do these kind of things, it just means so much. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the cash apps. Thank you for all of those things. Thank you guys. So moving forward. OMAC, how you enter the situation determines whether a woman will have a relationship with a man. Sex first is not a beginning of a relationship. It's a sexual exercise. Thank you, OMAC. Period. OMAC, you're a married man. I think it'd be very interesting to hear how you started your relationship as a married man. How did you decide that was the one you wanted to marry? I think it'd be interesting to hear. But yeah, how you start a relationship, ladies, is you've got to be aware of how you start and how you present yourself. I think sometimes we think that because we're pretty or whatever. I'm speaking from my own life experience. Oh, we're pretty. Men are going to just want to be with us. And that's not necessarily true. Okay. Men don't necessarily don't have to want to be with you. They can want to mess with you for a while. They can take you seriously and things like that. That's why I think it's more important that we need to present ourselves in a certain way. You see what I'm saying? We got to present ourselves in a certain way. So again, I'm missing some comments, and I apologize, you guys. God, he hit the nail on the head. That's true. I don't think reality TV helps The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. I agree. I don't think that. Sloan says, yes, I care. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I care. Money is very important, but let's keep it real. But it's not the only thing. Respect, attitude, maturity is all important. I hear that, Sloan. Money is very important. It is important. We'd be lying if we said it wasn't. You're right. But it's not the only thing. Respect, attitude, maturity is all important. I agree with that. I agree. So I think that at the end, I think that when the guy is talking about relationships and talking about certain things, guys, do you think that men are actually afraid of commitment today? Do you think that men are afraid of commitment? Can you put a 1 in the chat if you say yes? Can you put a 2 in the chat if you say no? Do you think that women are accurate in their perception of men being afraid of commitment? 1 if yes, 2 if no, 3 if it's a little, if there's another thing you have to say to that. You can put 3 if it's like, I have more to say. But 1 or 2, 3. Two. Danny says 1. No, if no. 2. Mike says 3. We cannot trust y'all with nothing. That's what T.O. says. We cannot trust y'all with nothing. 2, 3 for other. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay. Maximilian. Thank you, Maximilian. Okay. Sometimes women scared me off from entitlement and demeaning behavior. How you make someone feel is far more important than how you feel about someone. That's very true. I think one of the biggest videos I did was when I found out about a woman. I was getting my hair done by a woman, and a guy had cheated on me, right? And he was with this girl, and I thought this girl was not as pretty as I was. And I said, like, she's not even cuter to me, da 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 da. And she stopped me in the mid sentence, and she said, "It's not about how you look; it's about how you make that man feel." And it shook my little tree at that point, because I thought looks were everything. But if I treat a man a certain way, then that reflects more on how he views the relationship. His experience with me is how he will then view the relationship. So I hear that, sir. I thank you for, I see a star, E5, E5 music teacher. Thank you for the sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think that it's the worst heartbreak video on the channel. Oh, yes. It is the worst heartbreak. I did put that on there. I did. Looks are not everything. I'm not even committing. If you have basic conversation, looks are not everything. It's not everything. It's not everything. But the reality of it is, I think it's very well. Before I get into what I'm going to do or what I'm going to talk about next, anybody that put a 3 in the chat, are you willing to come on here and tell me what that 3 means? Y'all be respectful. We'll take you off the chat. I don't want to see nothing I'm not supposed to see. But if you put a 3 in the chat, I want to know what that 3 means. Okay. So, Deb, can you put a link for someone to come on and have a conversation with me about why they put a 3 in the chat? Or even, I want to know people from the 3s, the 3 community. So let me see if 3 depends on the pure intention. It can be consistent. So Beezy said that 3. Beyond said 3. Big G said 3. Strazen said 3. Terrell said 3. Claymore said 3. Mike Mountain said 3. We only need 1. So if one person wants to come on, I want to hear the 3s. So again, you guys, I think it's very good to talk about these things, because I think that men, you guys have more power. The men that are here, you guys have more power than you think. Women want to be Women want to be attractive to men. I.e., think about the whole Kevin Samuels thing, right? Women would call in and would know that Kevin's going to keep it real with you. He going to rate you, okay? You talking about you have issues, he going to rate you. And he's going to have a different rating than you may have for yourself, okay? And it may be heartbreaking. It may hurt your feelings. But women came on that show to be attractive to him. They wanted to be seen as attractive to him in the people that were watching his show, which were majority men. So men, you guys have so much power, because women, like, for example, if you watch basketball and you with a woman and a woman really cares about you, a woman's going to look at that basketball game and she's going to try to understand it. Or if you like UFC and she kind of like UFC, or maybe she don't like UFC, she's going to say, you know what, I'm going to look into that because that's what's of interest to men, or of interest to the man that I'm interested in. That's how, as women, we are. We want to be appealing and attractive. And what's happened in today's culture is that what's been made attractive and popular, and what people are wiping up from what young women are seeing, are women that are not holding themselves to a certain standard. The women that they're seeing be wifed up is the ones that are, showing themselves in a certain way, talking in a certain way, doing things a certain way. They're not women that are pursuing their career in like therapy or something. They're doing other things and making money, but they're not. And I don't want to, again, I'm not trying to shade anybody. My whole point in doing all this is that there's a younger generation of women that are watching us, that are watching me, as discussed before. And we have to decide what kind of role model we are going to be for women and young women. And today's society, the social media culture that we're in, it's not good for young women, because now young women are more insecure and reporting rates of depression and anxiety more than they've ever been. So how we're doing things isn't working. And we're trying to say, oh, it's empowerment. It's not empowering to put yourself on an Instagram post and see if people like you half naked. That's not empowerment. That's demeaning. And we're changing up meanings, because if that was empowering, then women today would be at the highest level of self-worth and validation and security. No, we are on the opposite spectrum, because what we are doing is not empowerment. What we are doing is damaging. And that's why we've got to do things differently. Period. So all this sleeping around culture, put yourself out there culture, this is empowering, take off your clothes on social media culture, that is not good for women. It's not good for you. Just look at the numbers. Forget my word. Google numbers. Anyway, y'all know that's like a hot topic for me, so I'm that's just me. Tamika's right. Facts. So true. Daddy issues and attention seeking for show. I'm actually going to Google a fact, because I want you guys to know. That I'm not lying to you. And people be distorting facts on the YouTube space. No, I'm going to look up some facts for you. Okay. So women and okay. I'm looking it up. February 13, 2023, New York Times article says teen girls report record levels of sadness, CDC finds. CDC said U.S. teen girls experiencing increased sadness and violence. And nearly 1 in 3, 30% considering attempting, harming themselves. Up nearly 60% from a decade ago. 1 in 5, 18% experienced sexual violence in the last year. This is CDC, y'all. This is released Monday, February 13, 2023. It says basically these are the bullet points. New CDC report raises urgency to invest in schools as a vital lifeline to help struggling youth. Teen girls are experiencing record high levels of violence, sadness, and suicide risk. Nearly 3 in 5 U.S. teen girls felt persistently sad and hopeless in 2021, double that of boys, representing a nearly 60% increase in the highest level reported over the past decade. Y'all, what we're talking about is something different. What we're talking about is that what is being socialized to our young women is actually damaging our young women. And it's up to people like us, game changers, that says this hookup culture that you think is going to make this guy settle down. And then instead of just seeing it for what it is, this guy just saying, I don't need to buy the cow. I'm getting the milk for free. So it's not that I'm afraid of commitment. It's what you're offering me is inferior to me being by myself, or who I'm talking to on the side that is not allowing me to get the milk for free, that has some standards, that has some self-respect, that is something that I could be with. That girl is more attractive. She holds herself like a girlfriend. She's someone I can bring home to mama. She's somebody that I can respect and take into every room and know that she's not going to embarrass me. That's what this young lady gives me that you don't. And that's the whole point. That's my whole point in doing all that I'm doing, y'all, is that we have this perception that there's something wrong with men. there's something wrong with men, but it's not something wrong with men. It's the way that we as women are presenting ourselves online, in our conversation. There's no, we don't, it's like, oh, we're so empowered, we're so self-respecting. No, why are our depression and anxiety rates so high? Why are we one of the most depressed nations in the world? Why? I'm gonna look up women rates of depression and anxiety in America compared to other countries. Let's go. Let's do it. Because we're going to talk about facts today. We're going to bring facts into the picture. Mm-mm-mm. Whew. I tell you what. So, what's so crazy? So, y'all want to know what the depression rate by country? Do y'all want to know? I'm actually surprised by this. That's really interesting. Ew, this is so the most depressed country in the world. The most depressed country in the world. I know this is Ukraine. United States and Estonia, which I don't know I don't know. United States, Estonia, and Brazil are tied for second, but Ukraine is the most depressed nation in the world. They have the highest rates of depression. Women double men in the rates of depression in America. It says that women have depression. Let me make sure this is a current article. Okay, it's October 24th, 2022. Women were almost twice as likely as were men to have had depression. So women are doubling in depression. Women are dealing with a lot of insecurity. We're dealing with it at a young age. And so at this point, no, Casey, absolutely. Ukraine makes sense. That's what I said earlier. Ukraine makes sense. You know, you're dealing with a lot going on in that world. So that absolutely makes perfect sense. We are tied for second with United States, Estonia, and Australia is number 2 in the world for depression rates. But again, and in that, women double men in the percentage of depression. So my whole point in saying all of that is that how we are conducting ourselves as women, and really we're talking about social media culture, so we're talking about younger women, is disastrous. How we are conducting ourselves is not helping us. And so that's why we have to do things differently. That's why we have game changer nations. That's why we do this. We've got to change the game. Thus, in comes the game changers. We got work to do. The way women present themselves plays a major role to a quality relationship. Thank you, Lewis. That's 100% facts. That's where we come in. That's where we become a different type of influence in the world. And we show that women that have value, that women that have morality and that are smart and that, you know, present themselves with elegance and grace, women that present value, that are assets. These things are attractive. It's not just about how you look. It's not just because you got the nicest BBL on the block. That's not what's attractive. What's attractive is your mind. What's attractive is what you bring to a household. What's attractive is how you'll raise your kids. What's attractive is how you will balance both work and family life. That's what's attractive, how you'll build an empire with the man that you're with. And that doesn't necessarily mean you don't work, but what it does mean is that you will bring in a balance, or you will bring in some type of asset that man doesn't already have. That's where you come in. That's where you come in. And I don't think that men are afraid of commitment outside of just not seeing their value in being in a committed relationship with the way that women are conducting themselves today. And there's no secret to me. It is no surprise that in today's world, we are women are being socialized and being pushed by popular media to act and dress and conduct themselves in certain ways that are the direct opposite of what men want, because the enemy is after families. The enemy is after families. So why wouldn't he make women a certain way? Why wouldn't he make and be making men a certain way to where we are not connecting, and therefore relationships and families are not happening? And men are more afraid of marriage because of all that's happened with marriage. And women are afraid of committing because they're afraid of committing too soon and not getting this certain guy that they think is going to be this a millionaire who has all the time in the world, who doesn't say anything to them, that just have these unrealistic expectations. Why wouldn't that be the case when we're dealing with a real enemy? If you believe what I believe spiritually. Y'all, let me stop. Maximilian Rodriguez, thank you, sir, for again supporting me and supporting the live. Women don't want to be shamed for twerking, how they present themselves, actions. Wait, ooh, he going there. But we shame men for having standards. Come on now. Maximilian, you're right. You should not be shamed for having standards. In fact, y'all standards for women would be better for women. You guys, women being intelligent, women having a moral compass, women having intelligence, spirituality, women taking care of themselves, going to the gym, making sure that they're taking care of their health and well-being and their appearance and their hygiene and things of that nature. Why that's in a woman's best interest to take care of her physical, mental, emotional, psychological health. That's in her best interest. It's in her best interest to not allow a bunch of men have access to her biscuit that have no intentions of honoring her or valuing her. You are worth more than that. And we're looking at men wrong when they're saying, you know what, I value a woman that has standards for men who come into her life and she sleeps with. We now make that a bad thing. How is that a bad thing? When you allow men to come in and out and experience your body for little to no commitment, how does that benefit you as a woman? You end up feeling used, abused. This dude who has not done anything to deserve to feel any aspect of your being. And you walk and you feel like, you know what? Dang, it does not feel good. I know it don't feel good. I don't care what anybody says. I know it don't feel good. Because women, we desire commitment. We do desire commitment. Deep down, we want commitment. And we don't want commitment. There are women that don't want commitment. So I can't speak in like extreme terms at all or nothing. I can't do that. But most women want commitment. Let's be real. Most women want to be married. Most women want to have that type of connection with a man, right? I know I do. So anyway, I see a Cash App. So thank you, Jason Jones. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and reply with a heart. Thank you so much. Sent me the Cash App. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shane Nolan, women are emotional, men are typically logical. Those lines are blurring now. I would say that, Tamika, to be honest with you, I think that we have made men, or we make men, what we define as masculine today. Oh, that's a masculine man, he's alpha. We've made men that seem to be very much emotionally led, that have absolutely no control over their emotions. They may be fighting. They allow themselves to get into like meaningless altercations, and we call that a man. That's not a man. That's not masculine. I'm not saying that's not a man. Excuse me. That's not masculinity. That's being run by our emotions. That's allowing our emotions to drive the car. And whether it's a woman or whether it's a man, it's not attractive for either party to be run by our emotions. It's not wise. It's not smart. The Bible says the heart is deceitful above all things. It is sick and desperately wicked. Who can understand it? Jeremiah 17:9. It is not wise. It is not smart to be led by our hearts. It is deceitful above all things. There's a way to emotionally say, you know what, I'm dealing with something, and then reacting on it or responding to it. We can be reactive or we can be responsive. So that's that. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sloan. Porn has ruined 2 generations of men. Okay, Sloan, we going there. Buckle y'all seatbelts, y'all. Sloan went there. Porn has ruined 2 generations of men and women. I'm 61. We as men 40 years ago had to earn the right over many dates and months to sleep with a hot young woman. Now, no easy way of getting this back. Wow. So Sloan is basically saying, look, men and women for 2 generations have been ruined by porn. And you know what, Sloan, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think you're right. I think porn has had disastrous effects on our society. I agree. Or corn has had disastrous effects on our society. We as men 40 years ago had to earn the right and offer many days and many nights to sleep with a hot young woman. Now it's no easy way of getting this back. Ooh, Lord. Corn is right, y'all. Corn is right. I mean, corn is. Sloan is right. Corn is wrong. Sloan is right. Corn is wrong. I'm sorry, you guys. But again, I think that corn has had a very disastrous. I mean, y'all, it literally kills brain cells. It really does. It would take about 25 years a generation to fix our problem. But here's the reality, you guys. I think that we starting something now. Every movement started with something. Every movement started with someone. And maybe they didn't see it in their lifetime, but their impact impacted generations. And so we start being game changers now, and we change things later. Okay, we start talking and having these hard conversations now, so later on in life we can have a different outlook, a different perspective, a different outcome that we're seeing now. Because what I'm seeing now is that men are being socialized in a way, women are being socialized in a way, and it keeps us apart. It keeps us apart. It doesn't bring us together. Claymore saying discernment is essential. Thank you, Claymore. Discernment is essential as an attribute. That's why you should watch the fountain from whence you drinketh your wisdom and knowledge. Come on, Claymore. I almost want to put that on. Put that on a shirt. I just want to put that on a shirt. Discernment is essential as an attribute. That is why you should watch the fountain from whence you drinketh your wisdom and knowledge. You better speak, sir. You better speak, sir. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Exactly, Sloan. Bye, Glide Blue. But y'all, we got more content. I got 2 videos, and I'm about to go to the next one. Y'all, let's stay put. We got some time. Get you a drink. Get you some popcorn. We have a little ways to go, okay? It's been a good ride. Let's go on to the next one. So here's another thing about.
And know who I need
Let me
to be.
pause it. So this is a clip from cruise season. Again, you guys, I just wanted different content that we can bring up into the situation. So I want to bring up different content and as to why men are afraid of commitment. And I wanted to see if that was true, and B, why, if it is true. So here is cruise season with that. Let me go back and then go forward.
Knowing I'm going to have to give up who I am to turn into who I need to be. I feel like that's very powerful. And the reason I feel that way is because, again, when you're out here single, there is no obligation there.
Right.
I can do what I want to do. And again, I'm not lying to women. I'm not doing nothing. But the second that this is uncomfortable, I'm gone. Or you do say something I don't like, breathe the wrong way, whatever, I'm out. But when you are in a serious committed relationship, you know that there are sacrifices that have to be made. I may not like you every day. That don't mean I can just drop everything and walk away. You know what I'm saying? We may get into an argument, you know what I'm saying? So whereas if I'm single, you cut off and I'm on to the next shit because I have no investment here. We in a committed relationship, I have to learn communication. I have to learn conflict resolution. And a lot of that shit is uncomfortable. So I'm going to have to get used to doing things that are uncomfortable. So getting rid of who I am to turn into who I need to be is very, very, very prevalent. Knowing I'm going to have to give up who I am to turn into.
So guys, I want to know what y'all are thinking. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to play it one more time because I want to hear what he's saying, okay? I want to make sure that I'm fully grasping what he's saying. He is saying this is the reason why some men fear commitment. The number one reason he's saying that men fear commitment. And so let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Knowing I'm going to have to give up who I am to turn into who I need to be. I feel like that's very powerful. The reason I feel that way is because, again, when you out here single, there is no obligation there.
Right.
I can do what I want to do. And again, I'm not lying to women. I'm not doing nothing. But the second that this is uncomfortable, I'm gone. Or you do say something I don't like, breathe the wrong way, whatever, I'm out. But when you are in a serious, committed relationship, you know that there are sacrifices that have to be made. I may not like you every day. That don't mean I can just drop everything and walk away. You know what I'm saying? We may get into an argument, you know what I'm saying? So whereas if I'm single, you cut off and I'm on to the next shit because I have no investment here. But when we in a committed relationship, I have to learn communication. I have to learn conflict resolution. And a lot of that shit is uncomfortable. So I'm going to have to get used to doing things that are uncomfortable. So getting rid of who I am to turn into who I need to be is very, very, very prevalent. Knowing I'm going to have to give up who
Okay, guys. So I'm going to stop sharing. How I want to know, guys, people that are on the chat, y'all, we got to stay all the way to the end of the road, y'all. Stay on. We got a video at the end. I want to know, guys, do you agree with what he's saying? 1, if you agree. 2, if you don't agree. 1, if you agree with what he's saying. 2, if you don't agree. He's basically saying that relationships come with certain compromises, and that the person that he is as a single man, as a bachelor, is not going to be the person he needs to be in a relationship. And so he's like, I don't necessarily want to be the guy that makes all these commitments and makes certain things work. I can walk away at any point if I'm not in a commitment. But if I'm in a commitment, you know, I gotta work through things. I gotta bite my tongue. I gotta do certain things I don't want to do. So I just want to know, is he telling the truth? Is he speaking facts? Or is he not? 1 or 2? Claymore says he makes some valid points. You should never give up on being who you're continuing you being yourself to. 2. Okay, some people say no. I don't agree. I'm seeing some 2s. I'm seeing he basically saying I turn from a boy to a man. True, not for everybody. I'm single, so 1. Deb is saying 1. So you can't move the same in a relationship as you do when you're single. Yeah, it's essentially what he's saying. 2, 1, 2. Okay. So what I think, y'all, in this situation, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, is that a lot of you guys are saying that it is true. There are certain times where you don't want to move in certain ways in the relationship. You don't want to not move in certain ways. You don't want to be committing to people when you're not necessarily ready to give up the person you've been or make the sacrifices that relationship require from you. So I think a lot of times, y'all, women think a guy a guy needs to be with me, or in order to be with me, I got to just give it to him right. I got to cook, I got to clean, I got to do this, that, and the third. And I truly think, in my opinion, that if a man is not trying to commit, he ain't going to commit. I don't think, if you are not in commitment mode, if you are in for the streets mode, I don't think that there's a woman that's going to pop up on a Tuesday that's going to take you from being on for the streets avenue. You feel what I'm saying, guys? Am I right or am I wrong? Because I could be completely wrong. I don't know if I necessarily think that if a man is committed to being for the streets, he does not want to be in a relationship. I don't think a man can be taken off of that path unless he wants to be taken off that path. I think that men have to be in a certain mindset for that. Okay, sorry. Oh yes, okay. Bean. Y'all put 1 or 2 in the chat. I could be wrong. I just want to see 1 or 2 in the chat. Excellent stream. Thank you, Bean. Men aren't necessarily afraid of women. They are cautious about entering into a relationship that may leave them broken and bankrupt. Woo! Excellent stream. Men are not necessarily afraid of women. They are cautious about entering into a relationship that may leave them broken and bankrupt. All right, Bean. I hear that. I hear that. Samantha, tell me, okay. Now, Sloan, I could tell you, but we on a show. So I want to ask the people in the chat, what is the benefit for a man to get married today? What is the benefit for a man to get married today? I'll Google it. I'm gonna say I'm a woman, y'all. So y'all gonna always say women are gonna want to be married, and that's probably true. But I want to hear what y'all think as men. What are the benefits? There's married men in the chat. What are the benefits for getting married today? What are benefits? And we're gonna answer that question, Sloan. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate you, sir. Good content tonight. Stay in God's grace. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm a God-fearing single man. I'll wait on my God to give me my kingdom wife 100%. Not having to be in the streets is a benefit. Okay. That goes both ways. The more, okay. I see no benefits unless you're going to have children, especially for a man with resources. No benefit to marriage, happily divorced. None. A lot. Longer life. A wife for a reason. A stable family. Am listening. Longer life. Greater income. Assuming you don't divorce. Zero benefits. Legitimate children. That's good. Going to say goodnight from the UK. Oh, thank you, Wayne's World. Thank you, Wayne's World. I've been married for over 35 years, have much experience in this area. Samantha is telling the truth. Bean, can you say what are the benefits to being married as a man? I think it's more powerful coming from a man. I would argue, like, okay, for me, having children with your husband is the best way to have a child. It's not to have a child with a man that's just your boyfriend or something like that's not. I think for family reasons, being married is a big deal. I also think for spiritual reasons, for me, a marriage is a big deal. I think there's tax reasons. I think there's financial reasons to be in a marriage. There's benefits to it. There are also costs, depending on the man, of course. If you have more to lose, it's probably a scarier situation. But I think having that commitment, having that covenant with a person is a beautiful thing before God. And to me, with family and just having somebody in your life that's saying, until death do us part, is a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful, of course, I aspire to that. I've been divorced. So, I haven't reached that point in my life. I'm looking to have a 20, 30-year marriage one day and have that story. But the commitments I see in my family's life, my mom's been married for over 20 years. My dad's been married for over 20 years. They have a teammate, a ride or die. They've built so much together. They are better together. When my stepdad's sick, my mom got him. And with my dad, the same thing. My stepmom's got him. Like, he's going through, my dad's older. And so his wife has really taken the role of a caretaker when he's fallen ill. If not, he would have to be with one of us. And he's able to stay there and be taken care of by somebody that loves him. And is like I said, taking great care of him. So I think there is some benefits to it. I think if you deserve the best, you have to be the best version of you or work towards it every day. Two-way street. Maximilian, 1,000%. 1,000%. If you think you deserve the best, you have to be the best version of yourself. I heard the best dating advice I've ever heard it was like, think of your perfect ideal partner. Think of the person that you are on the top of the list, that kind of person, and you become it. Become that person. Not just go seek it out, become it. Because a lot of times we seeking out things we ain't. Let's be real. Benefits are to help build a legacy. Shaka. Caroline said, well, Sam, biblically, it's about salvation. God honors marriage. Marriage was invented for children. I'm going to stay in the streets. Sharing the best of each other is a benefit. Men are not afraid of relationship. Men are cautious about being robbed. I hear that. Rod said, a helpmate. You look a more established. Now, here's the truth, y'all. I didn't know this before. But there are some benefits with when you in business and entrepreneurial spaces. You having a wife makes you look more stable. And you looking more stable gets you more jobs and gets you more deals and gets you more things. Now, that's not always true, right? There's men that, can be single forever and they getting millions. And that's probably factual facts. But I've heard that having that ring on your finger is a powerful move when you go into different spaces because it makes you look more stable and more established. True relationships are based on selflessness and empathy. Jesus Christ chose to be empathic towards men as an investment towards a revived culture of righteous thinking. I love that. Okay, so oh goodness, let me see. I'm gonna actually look it up, y'all. Let's do it. Marriage for men. For a man, not for women, because we already know. Okay, I'm going to read from Black Men's Health. Black Men's Health says this. That's so funny. I see this other thing. Black Men's Health, married men live longer. Harvard Health reported that married men live longer than men without spouses. Also cited information that men who tied the knot tended to be healthier than those who were never married, divorced, or widowed. Additionally, the longer a man stays married, the greater his survival advantage over his unmarried counterparts. Second reason, married men make more money. Married men earn between 10 to 40% more than their single counterparts, according to a research cited in a study titled Debunking the Ball and Chain Myth of Marriage for Men. The reasons: they tend to earn more, save more, and have access to a second income, generating much more accumulated wealth than single men, according to the study. While the report acknowledged that the selection may play a role, it also stated that research suggests that marriage itself increases the earning power of men in the order of 10 to 24%. That's to the advantage of somebody else right here. Over here, where is it? Yeah. Okay. So married men have better sex and get much more of it. And this is in 2010, Indiana study revealed that less than 5% of single people ages 25 to 59 have sex 2 to 3 times a week, states this report, that as compared to married people who are 5 times more likely to have sex at the same rate. For men in particular, 2017 National Health and Social Life Survey showed that 51% of married men reported that they were extremely emotionally satisfied with sex, compared to 39% of cohabitating men, and there's 36% of single men. Married men have better overall health, especially heart health. That's actually funny to me. That makes all the sense in the world to me. If you out here in these streets, it's not good for your heart. It's not. I'm sorry, y'all. Married men have better overall health, especially heart health. Okay, it says taking into consideration the risk factors for cardiovascular conditions, such as blood pressure, cholesterol, age, body fat, smoking, and diabetes, married men had a lower rate of death. That means coronary artery disease and hypertension are among the leading causes of heart failure. Yet men in supportive marriages have experienced improved overall survival. Okay, last but not least, married men behave better. Married men tend to listen to their partners, insert eye roll. They take fewer risks, eat better, and maintain healthier lifestyles. So basically, married men are healthier, which kind of makes sense because I know that women, yeah. So a lot of it is, okay, there's the Economic Times has an article on it saying that married men health benefits of marriage for men. I hope that they have the outline one. Living longer. Essentially, it's like living longer. cultural norms, caregiving. This is children, better children outcomes, 2-parent households. So again, guys, there are benefits. Okay, there's economic benefits, physical benefits, emotional benefits, and overall health benefits to men getting married. And I'm talking about the benefits because you guys know I'm a Christian woman. I believe in Jesus. I believe in those types of things. So at the end of the day, I do believe in marriage. I do believe in marriage. Okay. So anyway, that's that. I have one more video, y'all. So stay tuned. There's one more. Well, I don't even know if I have like a lot of time. Okay. So I am going to play this small clip. This is our last clip. So guys, come on, let's stay to the end, family. And again, we can't say, I mean, Sloan's got a good point about, wanting to stay married for the children. And that makes a lot of sense. I agree with that. I think that for kids, it's amazing to have a 2-parent healthy household, right? But I also think that there's other benefits that we don't think about. There are economic benefits. There are certain things. Samantha, marriage in biblical times, women were different. Now, Sloan, but that's the whole point of the live. Women were different. They were different. You're right. You're absolutely right. Women in biblical times absolutely were different. I think that women today are being socialized to be different. And I think that's problematic because it's not even good for women. A lot of the things that we are being socialized to do, and what we're making popular in popular media. I don't think it's even good for us. Mental health wise, I don't think it's good for us psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically. No. All right. So I'm going to play this last clip guys. Stay all the way to the end. We almost to the bitter end, y'all. Okay. Let me see. Here's the last clip. So this, y'all, okay, y'all know I love me some Matthew Hussey. Y'all have seen me play his content on my channel. And so I'm only going to play a little bit of this clip because I am, in the interest of time, I don't want to keep y'all on here forever. So I'm going to play this clip. You guys stay to the end because I want to close it out and I want to have a real solid final thought, okay? And what we can leave this live understanding that we did not understand when we began. I want these lives to be like a master class, y'all. Let's get into it.
From Love Life. We have another caller on the line today. Your name is Kalani, am I right in saying that?
Correct, yes.
Kalani, good to speak to you. What was your question?
So I am really puzzled by modern day commitment. It seems that people have a really hard time committing these days. There's always something better out there. And I'm sure social media has a lot to do with it. People comparing their lives to others. I know in LA where I live, there's a lot of men have Peter Pan syndrome and they don't want to grow up. But it makes me weary to get into a relationship because I feel like, people are always kind of worried about maybe there's something better out there. And commitment just doesn't seem to be as honored as it used to be. And it's causing me some fear into getting into relationships.
Here's the thing, y'all. I think women and men are dealing with FOMO, fear of missing out. I think women feel that way. I think men feel that way, but I digress. I don't think that that's just a man issue. I think a lot of women are not committing to relationships thinking that there's something better out there, and there may not be. We're not being realistic with ourselves. We're not being realistic with our friends. So I think that both parties are suffering from this epidemic of feeling like there's something better out there that they're not seeing. Grass is greener on the other side. I think it's one of those things. But let's continue.
And I think I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, how I can maybe work through some of that and be more trusting.
Yeah, that's a great two-part question. I mean, firstly, I think in general, people are worse at committing to anything these days.
Facts.
I think people are worse at committing to careers. I think they're worse at committing to a life path. I think they're worse at committing to marriage.
Yeah.
I think we have shorter attention spans, and we have I think a certain level of entitlement these days that makes us feel like we're entitled to a job that is amazing and exciting the whole time, and as soon as it's not, we feel like we need to quit and move on to something else.
That's true.
I think we feel like we're entitled to a relationship that isn't any work, that's supposed to be easy, and then as soon as it's not, we start looking for the next thing. And not to mention, if you live in a place like LA, and people in London or New York or many major cities will all relate to this, you do face a lot of people with a lot of different options, and everything is, in a city like this, it's everything all the time. It's everything always. You can have whatever you want any time of day. You can go out every night of the week. There are always new people. There's an endless stream of them. There's always something else going on.
Right.
And that makes it somewhat difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what we have to understand is that there are different experiences of life. There's the experience, for example, of going out and sleeping with multiple people and having a kind of roster of people on the go that you enjoy, and you're just seeing where that takes you, and you have all the variety that comes with that. Then you have the experience, which is being with one person and sharing your day with them, and finding out how they are when they get home, and telling them how you are when you get home. And you go and do something with that person, and you can really relate to them because you know them. You share your news with them, and you want to share your news because they know how hard you worked for that promotion that you're now excited about, unlike the person you met last week who doesn't care. It's a different experience. People grow, and as they mature, or hopefully mature, not every guy does, but as they mature, they start to have they value experiences differently. Some people go through their lives and they begin to truly value that sense of real meaning and connection that comes with being with one person. Other people, by the way, never get to that stage. I truly believe that that's the minority. I think that most.
So he's saying, y'all, and I don't leave y'all yet. So what he's saying is that men have to get to a certain place where they value commitment and value having meaningful connections with people, that at a certain point that it's attractive to have a roster of women and enjoy that, but then men get to a certain place in their life where they actually want to have a connection and commitment with one person. It's a maturity thing. I want to know, you guys, 1, if it's true; 2, if it's not. 1, if it's true; 2, if it's not. Nate is saying that's true. Thank you, Sloan. Thank you for your support. I'm gonna star you, Sloan. You're always here. Thank you so much. 1. I'm seeing 1s in the chat. Mikey G, Nate, Sloan, Marcus. I'm seeing 1s. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right. Perfect. So what we're seeing is that, yes, you guys are saying, yeah, there's a certain point that a man gets there. And some men never get there, right? There's some men that never get there. All right. Let's keep going.
Most people actually get to a point where they want more meaning in their lives.
That's very good to hear, because that's kind of what I was wondering is, how as things have changed, and I think of my parents in the 60s or whatever, it was such a natural thing to commit to somebody, and that's what you did. And now it seems more unnatural to do that because, divorce is prevalent and things. But I think, like you're saying, inherently maybe in humans, like people ultimately do want a quality experience. And so it just does. It's like a maturity thing then.
It is. And here's where the results get skewed, because I think that most guys will get to a point where they want more meaning, with the minority never wanting more meaning or having some sort of problem internally that stops them from accessing that part of themselves. Here's where the results get skewed. Many guys, because of this sense of entitlement where we think, God, before I get to a certain age, I have to have played around enough. I have to have traveled enough. I've had to have had a ton of adventure. I need to have made a certain amount of money. I need to be in a certain place in my status, in my career. They have all of these things that they feel like they need to check off before they meet the woman that they're going to spend their life with and settle down. Here's the problem.
Yes.
Despite this sense of entitlement, many of them never achieve all of those things by the time they meet that woman.
Wow.
So all of a sudden they're meeting this amazing woman and they think, God, I could marry this woman. I could spend my life with this woman. If only I'd been to all those countries I already wanted to go to. If only I feel like I'd played around enough, had enough adventure. If only I'd already made that money that I said I'd make. You know, I said I'd be a millionaire by 30. I'm not. I need to keep going with that. They have all of these things that they feel like they haven't done yet when they meet that person. And all of a sudden, they find themselves sabotaging a relationship, not because the relationship's wrong, but because they feel like they haven't arrived at that place in their life just yet.
All right, guys. So I want to see. Now I played a different part of the clip. He's saying that men have certain benchmarks before they get into relationships. They feel like they got to play around a lot, travel, da da da. One or two. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is he speaking facts or he's capping? One is true, two is false. One is true, two is false. I want to see what y'all saying. Do you think he's speaking facts? And there's some guys that are not settling down because they feel like they have to be at a certain place in their life before they do. And so they might they might have found I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. My computer completely jumped off the internet. So I apologize, you guys. I want to end with an understanding of where we are, okay? Where we've come to at the end of this place, okay? So I apologize for that. The whole point of what we're talking about tonight is this, and I'm gonna close it out because I'm not even in the right space that I'd like to be in when we're doing these shows. But my whole point tonight is this. Number one is that women, we can't, because men don't want to commit to us, doesn't necessarily mean that it's because of the fact that they're afraid of commitment. They may feel like they're not in a situation where they can commit. They may feel like there may be better options if they don't commit. So that's number one. Okay. Number two is that even with that being said, there are men that are not ready to commit because of the place that they are at in their lives. And so we also have to take that into account, that if a man isn't ready to commit, he's not ready to commit. But as the third part of it is this, is that women ourselves, we need to be focused on how we are presenting ourselves and what society is socializing us to do and how to conduct ourselves in these relationships is actually a detriment. It's a detriment to us actually connecting with men, because there's men and certain kinds of men that we want to commit to and with are men that are looking for certain values and certain things in women. Okay. So that's what we have to look at, is that us sleeping around and having and sleeping with a guy before he commits to us is not going to get us to commit to him. That's what we started in the very beginning, is that this hookup culture is not bringing about marriages and relationships long term. How we present ourselves in relation on social media, how we present ourselves in life, the qualities that we are becoming as women outside of just of our appearance, that we need to sow into other things, our character, our thought processes, our intelligence, our skills. Those are things that are very, very important for us to have and to instill in our future generations, because the habits that we are creating, the things that we are making popular today is actually hurting us more than they're helping us. All right. And so that's how I want to end this thing, guys. I love you guys. I'm sorry that I got kicked off. My computer completely died on me, and I don't know how, because it was plugged in the whole day. But I am going to go ahead and jump off. I love you guys. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys soon.